Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Go-To Food Podcast, brought to you by Blink, the UK company revolutionising the POS game. And today, we're delighted to be joined by Tim Siadatan, who's the man behind two of London's most successful restaurants in Padella and Trullo, and who's come a long way since working in the microwave section of the Reading branch of a chain restaurant called Old Orleans. I mean, let's start there. Talk us through your memories of work in the microwave.
Come on.
Yeah.
Old Orleans, that's where it all began.
Of course.
So Old Orleans is basically, it's like, do you know what Old Orleans is?
No.
Okay. So TGO Fridays.
Yeah.
Just a shitter version of that.
Okay.
And I think what happened, I mean, you throw me there. It was my first, I remember getting my NI card.
Yeah.
Right. And going, right, I can finally get a job that's not a fucking paper round or sweeping hair on hairdressers. And so I grew up in Reading, and the Oracle Centre, which is a shopping centre, just opened, and I managed to get a job in there, not because I wanted to work in a restaurant, just because I think the way that they did the application, you did the snake and ladders thing, and it asked you questions until you landed in a spot, and I was hoping I was going to land an HMV or fucking Topshop or something like that. So and I landed at Old Orleans, and then so.
Are there any Old Orleans left?
I don't know. It's a good question.
What was the food?
So I got a job. I mean, it was brand new. So I did a 2-week training. It's thorough. I remember it being, I was young. I was 16. Everyone else was a bit older, and I was on the starter section. So microwave, 2 badass ones, like those turbo ones.
Yeah.
And in there, nachos and fucking, I don't know, I can't remember. But then the fry section behind me, which I really felt like I elevated in. So potato skins, buffalo wings, jalapeno poppers.
Wow.
I mean, it was dreamy.
Living the dream.
I remember at 16, I was just like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then down the line, it was like, the guy that was on, if you could get down the line, there was like a wok-ish section when they did fajitas, and at the end was the grill.
Oh.
And
Did you work up the line at all?
I didn't last that long. I didn't stay that long. But what I did remember though is being in this environment, I fucking loved this.
Good, yeah.
The banter that was going on.
Yeah.
And I remember going, this is way better than school.
100%.
And so, that was it. That's where it all began.
Well, mentioning menus, I mean, finally, after almost 10 years of Padella, the fans are getting what they want in a cookbook. A beautiful finish to the cookbook. We were all sort of stroking it when you arrived. But can we hear a couple of the iconic dishes from the book? I mean, it looks like a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you. It is beautiful. They've done Dave and Sammy, who've been working with me on it, have done an incredible job. And Bloomsbury, bless them, have gone, let's go for it. So, it's like there's over 100 recipes in there. There's the classic Padella recipes. So the peachy cacio e pepe and the andouille with fettuccine, and then the beef shrimp pappardelles in there. So there's those, I suppose, iconic Padella dishes in there. But the majority of the book is stuff that I'd be doing at home, or that we don't get on the restaurant menu. Maybe stuff that I used to do at Trullo, and then a load of other stuff. So baked pastas, gnocchis, nudis, all different shapes of pasta, and then loads of dried pasta, because we don't do dried pasta at Padella.
No,
so
but you do enjoy dried pasta, right?
I fucking love it.
Is it why don't you do it?
Well,
for a reason that might be unexpected.
Well, because I would love to put dried pasta on, but the reality is when you do the sort of the volume that we do, you'd need to pre-blanch the pasta beforehand.
Yeah.
And then I've tried this many, many times to go, what is, for quality control, if you pre-blanch for 5 minutes, then you let it cool, and then, it falls off the cliff at some point. You can't just leave that for hours. You can leave it for a little bit of time, and you can do it, because some really good restaurants do that. But for us, it just ended up being, what is the cut-off point? Who's going to be watching that? And when you're in a service doing 500 covers, that's the last thing you need to be dealing with. Or you do it to order, and to nail it, to get it perfectly al dente, you've got to then have multiple timers on. And you guys know as chefs, that just becomes a clusterfuck beyond. And we tried, and it was on for a little bit, but so that's why we don't do
So
dry.
actually, perversely, I know you've got to make all the pasta, but it's easier to do fresh pasta in your type of restaurant.
In our concept, because some people are like, oh, you can fucking do it, and I'm like, yeah, I know you can, but with our concept, it doesn't work. Or you could, but it would just. I know what would happen is that it works sometimes, and then sometimes it wouldn't, and then you get into that realm of mediocrity, going, fuck that. You know,
Quickly, for those listeners who've been living under a rock, tell us the difference between Trullo and Padella. Obviously, two great establishments, icons of the London food scene nowadays, but...
that's very kind, thanks.
You're welcome.
The big difference, well, Trullo is a more classic menu, so, you know, Italian menu, albeit it's not regional Italian cooking. I'm not Italian, but more traditional in the format. Antipasti, primi, secondis, and desserts. And, you know, born out of, you know, Jordan and I, when we set it up, I'd worked at Moro and St. John, trained at 15. Jordan had been at River Cafe for 5-6 years. And we this idea of having, you know, we were in our mid-20s and we couldn't afford to go and eat at those restaurants all the time, but loved them. And that's who taught us. And that's how we, you know, and our stripes. And so we were like, how about create something in our neighborhood at a more affordable price, bring all that expertise into it, but make it so that we could go, you know, our mates could come and eat there, and follow all the same rules as, you know, the CAF St. John do, but just put our sort of application to it. And so, yeah, it's, you know, it is absolutely Italian restaurant, but we're British, so we're cooking in North London. And so it's not, you know, there's certainly elements of it that have sort of evolved with an Italian sort of framework, but is, you know, you wouldn't say it's a regional Italian dish. And like, you know, it's been there for 15 years now, and it's definitely become part of the community there. And I'd say wider afield, people love it.
Institution.
And it's, you know, it's fucking great. I still like get the buzz in that, you know, when you go in and have dinner there and like step away from work for a moment, that ground floor is one of the, for me, one of the great dining rooms. I love it so much, and the hustle and the bustle, the noise, the buses coming past. It's a real London restaurant, and, you know, so
Ben said it was his favourite Italian in the country.
I did.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Thanks, man.
To congratulate that.
Apart from Ristorante El Trevi, which is just around the corner.
Yeah.
You know my boys there?
Yeah, on
Sort
the
of
other side of the roundabout.
Yeah. Not apart from.
Yeah.
Different
my
floor.
second
Opposite
favourite.
the station.
Yeah, opposite the station.
Yeah, no, that's good. They do a good Milanese.
They do. Unbelievable Milanese.
Anyway. Should we have a drink? What are we going to offer to, you know, celebrate this book? And
We have a little Negroni. Would you have a Negroni with us too?
I'll have a Negroni if you have a
Yeah.
Negroni.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just a gentle Negroni.
Yeah, just a small one.
From
Thank you.
the greatest Negroni maker in the world, Nick Strangeway.
Apple.
Heppel.
Yeah.
Val Warner. Let me grab your glass.
man.
Love.
So yeah, and then Padella is a pasta bar.
Yeah. Well, talk us through the craziness of Padella, because when you opened up, and even today, but like the queues were just quite something, you know, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely didn't think. I mean, a queue was not part of our vocabulary in terms of our restaurants, and it certainly wasn't part of the plan. And yeah, look, it was 2016. At that time, there wasn't that kind of concept going on in London.
No. Well, you guys invented the pasta small plates restaurant.
Well, I don't know if we invented it.
In London?
Like, in London, I mean, like, in London...
You gave birth to it.
I don't know if anyone
Maybe
else
a second
doing
birth from years ago, but I don't think so. I think it was the first birth.
I think, but yeah, I don't know anyone else doing it at that time. And so there was... I think it was partly because people trusted it, because we had Trullo, like, you know, and people... If you knew about Trullo, the thing you probably knew more than anything was the beef shin pappardelle and our pasta, and that's definitely what we were hearing back from people. And then I think, so there was a bit of that going, they trust us. Then it was like, it's Borough Market, man. It's just like, it's ridiculous. It's bonkers busy. And it blew up. And so, and it was really affordable. That's the other thing.
Affordable, yeah.
You know, affordable people, you know, most people are really into pasta. They've got a connection with pasta. They've got nostalgia with pasta. They've got, it's in there. If you don't cook at home, you find, or my experience when I ask people if they, you know, do they cook? Oh, I've got 3 or 4 things. Nearly always one of them is a pasta dish of some description. So there is a lot of, you know, there's a connection with people with pasta. And so I think, the combination of all of that just when it went bang, it was a hit. And then, there's been a queue ever since, which is kind of mad. But
It's unbevillable, yeah.
How much?
I mean, it's a virtual queue now.
How much pasta were you? Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
How much pasta were you getting through it? Like the crazy. I know there's still a queue, but I mean,
I'm just going to...
It's busier now than it was then.
really?
Yeah.
So how much pasta are you getting through a day?
A little fresh pea from my boy. We're doing a partnership with Newcomer Garden Market. They sent me some beautiful peas.
That's
I
incredible.
thought quite nice with a Negroni.
Yeah.
Great, man.
That's
Anyway.
just upscaling the podcast and
there you go,
everything.
Freddie.
My life. So how much pasta are you getting through a day nowadays then?
Well, so Borough Market, which is where we have the queue, because
Yeah,
we don't have the queue.
Yeah.
So that also proves that the
Borough's-
location.
Yeah.
Does
Well,
it?
we
Yeah.
do have a queue at Shoreditch, but not like Borough.
No.
And it's a virtual queue now, so people often think they can't come, and they're like, "Fuck, I don't want to stand in a queue for ages."
Yeah.
These are delicious.
You're good, right?
Yeah, really good.
Thank you
Little
to Rushton.
sweeties. What a Rushton.
You're aware of Rushton?
I am. I've worked with Rushton for a long
Yeah,
time.
me
Although
too.
Rushton's like retired now.
Rushton himself is. I think his son's in the business.
Yeah. We still use Rushton.
Do you? There you go.
Right, so.
Well, you got some Girolles coming later from the great man.
Go on,
Not to
Rushton.
ruin the surprise, but
Pasta, how much? I mean, we'll do, like 500 covers a day. Often people share pasta, and so we're talking 700 plates of pasta a day at Borough Market.
Oh. Well, nearly 10 years with Padella.
Yes.
How have you seen the eating habits change over those, well, nearly a decade? Are they eating less? Are they sharing more? Are they drinking less?
I think they're sharing more. I mean, I look, at Borough, it's kind of been steady the whole time in terms of like how you eat. But I think at Shoreditch, you noticed that there's a lot more sharing going on, and people, get stuck in for a bit longer. It's not, Borough and Shoreditch are slightly different. Shoreditch, people that go there, less touristy, want to drink a bit more, and so there it's a bit more. They have a couple more drinks than at Borough. Borough is like, it's quite fast. It's quite a small space as well.
yeah.
Loads of tourists.
Well, what about Trullo? Because that may be a better example for restaurant eating, I suppose.
Trullo, I mean, we've seen drinking. We've introduced a better like wine list, for example, and for a long time it was quite small. But Will, who's now looking after the wine list, was tasked with going, look, just let's stop with this sort of smaller format. 30 and 30 wines. We're often getting asked by people, can they, not everyone in Highbury wants to drink, wants to like have a, Sassicaia, but you get asked, we were getting asked, and we didn't have the big boys going on. And so that menu has like grown massively. And then so because of that, people end up spending, get stuck in. So,
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, Trullo,
So expanding the wine list has moved people up a price bracket, really.
well, it's allowed people to spend that money. And then so you do see that the average spend there has gone up proportionately more on booze than it has done on food. Of course, prices have gone up everywhere because they have to. But so the eating habits there, and just spending a bit more time at the table. We see that we give them a little bit longer, and they go for sort of more the 4-course rather than 3-course, and get stuck in. And earlier in the week at Trullo now we see it was always kind of steady, but now it's super busy. Lots of industry people come.
Yeah.
And it could become the Monday, Tuesday nights have turned into not as big as later in the week, but definitely big, and people are getting stuck in.
That's great.
Yeah, boozing. Lots of people that's my experience. Trullo, a lot of people get
boozed.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of people, well, most people come and go like, this is the toughest year they've ever known in terms of the restaurant industry. But I'm guessing when you're doing 2 fucking London icons, you're absolutely fine.
Doing all right?
I don't know. Well, ask me a year ago, and I would have been like, we were in the weeds, and it was hardcore post-COVID. Like we got really fisted, and for a long time.
Really?
So yeah, it was brutal.
What post that initial good sort of 18 months afterwards where everyone came out again?
Well, our problem was that we had just opened Padella Shoreditch 3 weeks before the first lockdown. So officially the worst time to ever open a restaurant in the history of opening restaurants. And so that was a big, for us anyway, quite a big build, like quite a big investment. And then, and so the aftermath was just, a shit show of the staff. It was the Brexit thing.
Yeah.
And we were and it just went on for a long time, like too long. For us, it was like 3-4 years of pain.
Wow, really?
Like proper, like, oh shit, this is when restaurants don't work, and like looking
Like it
into
could cripple you. Pain.
Yeah.
Even though you were full every day?
No, at that
On
point,
some of them?
what happened was we couldn't staff the restaurants, and so we were down on all 3 to 5 days a week rather than 7.
Right.
Yet we were committed to going, we need to be doing 7 and all hit the sales we were doing because of the money we had borrowed to keep afloat, and it just wasn't happening.
Right.
And it was just this like hemorrhaging,
Crazy.
and just in a tailspin. And on top of that, I mean, I now know in retrospect the fatigue of what it was to be going through the craziness and the turbulence of all the shit with COVID and lockdowns and understanding rules and all of it, and then because we didn't stop, we just kept going through it, and then trying to get going again and doing all the things that you know. I fucking pivot. I hate the word fucking pivot now because everyone was using the word, you know, like, and we did. We were like, let's open this little shop. Let's do nationwide delivery. Let's, you know, etc. Just like, what the fuck?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, we got people back to, you know, a big drive was let's get some people back off furlough so we can get people working, you know, and then who knows what's going to be happening. But in hindsight, my God. So yeah, there was a lot of, so if you'd asked me a year ago, we would have just been coming out of the sort of finally coming out of the back of that.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
It's good to hear you're out the shit. Congratulations. Talking about creativity, I mean, over 100 recipes in this book alone, so many in the restaurants over the years. How do you get inspired? You do a lot of trips to Italy, across Europe. Can you give us a couple of your favourite? I mean, people love on the show when people go wax lyrical about locations, restaurants, foods to try. Give us some of your favourites over the years.
Oh, I mean, look, Italy... I mean, the reason I've fell in love with Italy and still, you know, I'm still like totally engrossed by Italy is that every region you go to has got its thing going on, and they're mad for it. Like, you know, people will notice. But so places that we go to regularly are Tuscany. I think nearly every year. We go, last year we didn't go actually, but nearly every year since my Jamie Oliver days.
Really? And is that linked to like olive oil?
Yeah. We go for olive oil harvest. So take a team out, and there's olive oil wine, and so that's always a good moment. And Tuscan food is just like, you know, any time of year, but winter, that patch at the end of autumn is a good time to be in Tuscany. So,
what sort of dishes are you seeing at that time?
Well, the new season olive oil just sort of governs everything. So, like, basically, you know, wild mushrooms with new oil on it.
Good olive oil.
One of the pasta dishes in here, which is like, in fact, came to quite late, but so fucking simple, is new season olive oil tagliarini parmesan with pasta water. And the day we found out about it, we were in this restaurant. This guy taught us, you know, showed us how to do it. And they give it to their kids when they're feeling poorly. So like it's our chicken soup, or you know, and you taste it, and it nourishes you in that way. It's just warming and lovely.
Was it loads of oil?
Shit tons of new fresh pressed oil. Yeah. Parmesan
emulsified with the water.
Just parmesan and water, and it's just, I mean it's good. I mean it's actually quite difficult to nail because it can like go a bit grainy if you're not careful. But you know, something like that is really good. New Zealand olive oil all over, you know, steaks and, you know, grilled meats. So that's one area for sure. And then in the summertime, you know, and then in the winter up in the north still. So whether it's in, you know, Piemonte and getting into polenta, I fucking love bollito misto.
Yeah.
And in the south, in the summer, like now, like going to Amalfi Coast or Sicily is just like the nuts. So what's the classic ones in here? There's like the fettuccine with pistachio pesto, like, you know, that's like it's super easy. Anyone can do it, like, you know, and but gold, whether it's mixed with fettuccine or you put it on fish, put it on meat, mix it around vegetables, whatever it might be.
When you're coming up with pasta dishes, do you feel like a responsibility or like a requirement to find that it is a thing and it's come from somewhere? Or do you feel comfortable kind of going like, you know what, with this ingredients that we've got and this shape of pasta, I think this would be delicious?
So yeah, and these days for sure, a bit more like I trust. I've got enough experience. I've spent enough time going out there that I realised quite a long time ago that Italians amongst themselves all you know, like argue about what's the right or wrong way, and to a granular level in families, like you know. A brother will say to another, you know, like my version's better than, you know.
Or you're doing it wrong, or
so that I realised that then you get a little bit of free reign there because people are doing things differently, and that should be how it is. So, but I'm definitely stuck in respect the tradition. Often just stick by it, or if I'm doing my, you know, but sometimes you're allowed to, you know, tweak things a little bit. Or because I'm not Italian and I'm living in you know, the UK, do what Italians have always been doing, which is use your area, use the ingredients around you, you know, connect with what's going on with the people that you're feeding and the temperature, you know, climate and whatever's there, and then you're allowed to do it. That's the rules.
Presumably that's how the classics came to be anyway. So there's a particular moment where the thing's ready and the pig's been slaughtered and you've, you know, whatever it is, and then it comes together into a dish.
And totally. And so there's a lot of things in there that a lot of the simple stuff, because it's for it really. I've written this with a hat on and going. This is for people cooking at home. It's not for chefs. There'll be some stuff in there that maybe some chefs are going to be, that will like, and it looks nice.
Oh yeah, beautiful. I
But
want to stroke it.
I want to.
You should stroke it.
Yeah, I know, I will.
Yeah.
But I really want this for people at home to elevate their pasta cooking, because they're already doing it.
Yeah.
It's just let's take it to the next level. And so there's quite a lot of stuff in there you'd be able to get from a corner shop or a supermarket.
Yeah.
And I've had that in mind for the sort of the everyday bits.
Yeah, nice.
So that's, I would suppose, maybe where it's a bit anglicised, because I've thought about Sainsbury's or Tesco's going,
Yeah.
there's nothing more annoying, I find, for people who are buying books.
Yeah.
If they're going to cook from it, you've got to make it accessible.
Oh,
so
100%.
there's a fair whack of that going on.
How often do you eat pasta a week?
A lot. I've got to watch it, because it's like this bullshit that you can eat pasta every day and be healthy. That's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
No.
But I would say about 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think it's a
How
fair-
often do you eat pasta?
Oh, it's a fair balance. Probably three or 4 times.
Yeah.
I would say.
You?
What about you?
I think probably about the same.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it is just your sort of go-to.
But I don't look.
And you're cooking at home, or you're going?
Yeah,
you
going
go
home.
to a restaurant and
Sorry, cooking at home.
Yeah.
Going home.
Cooking at home.
So
yeah.
what is your go-to pasta?
Oh, that's a big
Huge.
question.
Because everyone's got one. That's the beauty with pasta.
Currently, it's actually this orzo peasant kind of soup thing my girlfriend makes, which is unbelievable. And it changes with the seasons, depending what kind of veg is in season at the time. But a couple of times I've come back from horrible weekends and have been brought back to life with that. It's just the perfect. I've just sort of.
So there's like a broth in there. Or?
Yeah, there's a broth, there's veg, there's some pulled chicken off a sort of slow cooked chicken at times.
Warm. Are you having this warm?
Oh, yeah, I'm having it warm. Yeah.
Oh,
But then in the
yeah.
summer it's a bit lighter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
It can come with tomatoes. It can be sort of popping a bit more in your mouth. Yeah, it's good.
Your
But I mean,
your girlfriend sounds great.
Yeah,
she
she's
does
great fun,
this
yeah.
and takes you out to like Greece nights.
I know we're going to
with
Greece
10
musical
with 10
tonight.
other women.
I know, it's very exciting. Yeah. What about you, Benny? I mean, come on.
At the moment, I've been nailing quite a lot of. I don't know if is it even legitimate. Just literally, like cold. What am I trying to say? Cold tomato, raw tomatoes,
Yeah.
grated garlic, some basil,
Ugh.
some vinegar and oil. I don't know. I'm obsessed with vinegar, and just toss that through like hot tagliatelle.
Yeah,
Come on.
Don't know if that qualifies.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yeah, totally. Like pan con tomate, but in a pasta.
In a pasta, yeah.
Genius.
But I mean,
No, I
don't-
think that's good.
I don't know if I'd be kicked out of Italy for that.
You might.
Yeah.
Or a horrific. I've spoken about this on the podcast before, like a 90s bastardization of a carbonara.
Yeah.
So what, cream going in there?
No cream. I'm like a relative purist.
Hmm.
There's a tiny bit of garlic that goes in there. I don't know where you stand on garlic in carbonara. Probably not good.
Not good, no.
Definitely not guanciale or fucking whatever other piece of pig. It's like streaky bacon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's
And
yeah,
then
I can get with that.
Egg, loads of pasta. That's loads of pasta water, parmesan.
Yeah.
It's like all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth
I
is...
wouldn't. Yeah, I would eat it. 100%. I'd eat it. The garlic wouldn't put me off that. If cream, I'd find it tricky.
No, no cream.
But it is the perfect base for anything, isn't it, really? If you get the right shape, the right style.
Yeah.
You're going Greek, you're going North African, you're going European, you're going
Go where you want.
Asian. Like,
I mean, yeah, and people do it.
yeah.
2 questions. A, what's your like midweek pasta go-to thing if you're at home? And B, can you just give me a little guidance on like shape of pasta to type of sauce?
Yeah, sure. I mean, midweek, I will anchovies, capers, garlic, chili.
Beautiful.
Really simple. Spaghetti or linguine.
Yeah.
Everything's ready within 15 minutes. And I would say that me and Daisy eat that more than anything else, I
Yeah.
would say. And so that's definitely a go-to. There's a few others, but like that, if there's one, that would be it.
Beautiful.
And then pasta shaped to sauce. Now that there is definitely set rules with certain things, but pasta is the vehicle for the sauce in so many many ways, and you really should stick in your lane. For example, spaghetti vongole. Okay, you could go with linguine. I think that's about it.
That's as far from you can deviate from.
Yeah, because you kind of with vongole, imagine it with penne or farfalle. It just wouldn't be the same
Odd.
thing. You need to be able to get those clams out of the shell. Wrap it around. You need the linguine or the spaghetti to be wrapped around. Get a clam or two inside there.
Yeah, almost lassoes it.
Exactly, and you need it to be messy. You got to be prepared to get messy.
Yeah.
And then you got to get in and you got to slurp it, and you got to and have all those juices getting all over you. It just doesn't work any other way. And so I think that's where you stay in your lane. A ragu, for example, like the pappardelle with beef shin. Now that's it is our iconic dish.
Yeah.
But I've put it now. I'm not. It'd be lying if that's the only thing to put it with. Like, let's face it, it is going to be good with penne. I know it is because we do it with star food quite a lot. Or it is.
True.
It is. You know, it is going to be good with some farfalle. Funny enough, it's not really good with spaghetti or linguine because
It sort of fall off.
exactly
Yeah.
the shredded bits, like
Doesn't
just kind of
wrap
like
around
which is why a anglicized American bolognese is perfect with spaghetti because the little clusters again get wrapped
right.
up inside the stringy spaghetti or linguine.
Yeah.
So that's my short little guide to it.
That's lovely.
Have you got, just while we're on pasta, Fred,
Go on. Oh, shit. Go on.
a controversial pasta shape that you quite like, even though it's maybe not seen as stylish or cool?
Well, yeah, I mean alphabetti. Like, I mean, like
Yeah.
I've got
Genius.
kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean,
It's gorgeous.
they eat it. So I'm just like,
so you're really into it. Yeah.
What about other Italian restaurants in London you enjoy? I mean, are there other places you go try out? Or not?
yeah. I mean, it's the River Cafe is hard to beat. I mean, not just in Italian, but I think
As a
for any restaurant in the world. On its day, for me, it's the best restaurant in the world. And it's like, you know, for me, I hold it up there as, I mean, it's taught me, I haven't never worked there, but it's taught me so much. The books.
Yeah.
I've got to know the people over the years. And because Jordan worked there for, 5 years,
Yeah.
kind of got to know quite a lot of people when he was working
It's a
there.
bit culty there, in a good way.
Yeah. Well, it's
No, in a
grown,
good way.
but it's grown. The amount of people that have come from the cafe.
It's incredible, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
Amazing
we talked about it on the pod
lineage.
before,
Yeah.
but so the cafe for sure. Bocca di Lupo, amazing.
Yeah.
What Jacob does, I just think, I don't know why people don't rave about it more than they do. I know
Yeah.
people talk about it, but I always be like, he's one of the best Italian chefs in the UK.
Very much. Does he almost suffer from being in Soho?
I don't think he'd say that.
No, he wouldn't. But just in terms of people should
Maybe.
talk about it more. I agree with you.
I don't know.
It's an unbelievable place.
But it's a really great restaurant. His book is still a go-to for mine.
Yeah.
For me. Luca, I don't normally like little,
Yeah.
it's not my vibe, but they do it really well. And so that's always a fun, it's always a fun restaurant to be in.
Yeah.
Where else? Ligare was one of our old ex-chefs, sous chefs, Matty down in Tower Bridge. Where else? There'd be more. What's yours?
I don't know. Trullo, Padella.
Yeah. Go see your boy Luca at Passionavino.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not get food, but you're going to get fucking pissed.
You're gonna
Yeah, you're going to get pissed.
You're going to get pissed. Eda's, have you ever been there?
Where?
Eda's in Queen's Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Lovely little family.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
That's on the corner. I saw that got voted like best Italian restaurant by Time Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Verona. Thea Randall came on and spoke about it.
Theo Randall, so that's the other one. Like he's
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best.
But you're obsessed with Trattoria del Pompiere as well, right?
Yeah.
Go on, talk us through it.
Fuck, it's just like, it's like a mecca. It's just like it's. So in Verona, Verona for me is the best town, not city, best town for restaurants in Italy. A, because you can walk around it, and B, because there's some really fucking good restaurants, and that's not always the case in Italy. They've just got better restaurants than the UK.
Yeah.
The best cooking's happening in people's homes. That's the reality, and there are some good restaurants. Verona's got some, and Il Pompiere is probably the best. And they have you go in, and there's sort of it's the walls are flooded with famous Italian people, and just frames everywhere. Wooden tables, white tablecloths, and they've got in the corner this little a salumi section. So I think they've got something like 80 different types of salumi, and they have, when you sit down, they give you a menu for salumi, olive oil, and the normal a la carte menu.
Wow.
And so there's, you can go and have a look and pick and choose. Or you just order off it, and it's the best of the best. So you start off with that, followed by then eating off the a la carte menu, and they do an incredible Amarone risotto. The risotto menu is like proper. They go, it's going to be 30 minutes, so the risotto is cooked from scratch.
Wow.
I don't know many restaurants that are doing that.
No.
And
Madness.
then the secondis are all simple, just simple like grilled bit of meat or some salt cod and polenta, or they do donkey and horse in there, and then the olive oil. They have this olive oil menu. You choose different olive oils to go with it, and they guide you through it. It's
That's
dreamy.
incredible.
Unbelievable.
It's dreamy.
I think we need to go to Verona, Freddie.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We need to get a weekend in with all of us and then Luca.
Yeah. I went. Me, Luca, Fergus, and Margot went once for a week.
Really?
Christ.
Yeah.
God, that must have been lit.
How long do you stay on your feet for?
Well, we didn't. We fell over a few times. Actually.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah. It was winter, and the streets have got these beautiful marble.
Yeah, marble, yeah.
And when it gets cold, it becomes
It's
an ice rink, and especially
Right, so you're
So
not
me,
blaming the booze.
No, definitely not.
No.
Booze. But we did a weekend. Il Pompier, Belito Misto, a couple of vineyards with Luca. Well, he was with us the whole time. It was magic. Yeah, it was good times. And then who else came at the end? Some other people came at the end, and then they went up into the Alps. But yeah, glorious. I recommend it to anyone.
We've also done a lot of travelling in Spain. San Sebastián, as all the great chefs come on here and talk about. But it nearly took your life. Is that right? Or have I been delving too deep into the archives?
No, how do you know that? That's interesting.
I just late night last
You're in
night.
medical records.
What have you? Yeah, phoning the San Sebastián General Hospital.
Anything on Tim.
Yeah.
I went out. It was, what was I doing? It was a wedding. A chef I used to work with at Moro, James Knight. It was his wedding, and we'd had a day of it. I think it was the next day actually. So there was the wedding, wicked, fun, brilliant. Then the next day they put on a lunch, and it was a big lunch off the back of a big day. So you're sort of like straight back in.
Yeah.
And in the afternoon, we went to. People went their separate ways. Couples went to the beach. I can't remember which beach it was, but a massive wide beach. And I thought it would be a good idea to go for a swim. The sun was going down. It was felt like the moment. So I went in for a swim, and being sort of like half cut, I was just like lying on my back going, this is fucking glorious. I'm loving it. Like life, so nice. And looking at the sun going down. And after a few minutes of that, I really, sort of put my head up, and I realized that I had been taken out, at least 100 meters. And I was like, fuck, okay, let me start swimming back in. And I turned over to swim back in, and I could just feel the current going through my fingers. I was like, shit.
Were you in a riptide or something? Were you
I was in a
It was
Exactly.
You were going the wrong way.
So I was starting to swim back in, and the only person that was on the beach with me had fallen asleep. And the rest of the beach, it was like one of those long, it was like no one there. And I was like, shit. But I was like, I can get through this. And then I realized not only could I not get through it, but I was getting pulled further out. And it went on for at least 10 minutes, where then the fear really started setting in to go, shit. So I started screaming, and no one was hearing me. And then there was a moment for, I would say, it felt like hours, but must have been for a minute or two, where I was like, this is it. This is it. Okay, if this is it, it's not the end of the world. I've had this incredible 2 days. I've had this amazing lunch. Sun's going down, and there might be worse ways to go. So, and then quickly came out of that, fuck, no, this is not it. And then at that moment, someone on a paddleboard on the horizon on the peninsula was coming around, and I was screaming for a long time for him to see me, until he finally did, and then turned towards me, dragged me on, and then took me in.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How long were you at sea? Out in...
Must have been half an hour.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I know. So that was it. I almost died.
How did you celebrate when you got back to land? It must have felt amazing.
Must have felt euphoric.
Well, he screamed at me in
What are you doing, you prick?
well, in in Basque, and I didn't understand a word he was saying apart from basically you're a bellend.
Yeah.
What are you doing, twat?
And then I was exhausted, and so lied down for a bit, and then just was like, fuck. I didn't say it. I was pretty shaken up.
Yeah, I
bet.
can imagine.
Yeah. And then we went out that night.
Yeah, well, pinch us in it.
We should say that today's episode is brought to us by our brilliant friends Blink, the UK-based legends turning the POS game on its head. There are no long-term contracts, no hidden fees, no per-device charges. If you run a restaurant, Tim, you've got several. You know how painful traditional POS systems can be. They're clunky, they're slow, and worst of all, expensive. But Blink is different. It's the first POS that needs zero training. Your team can be up and running in minutes. It's built for real hospitality workflows, costs just 49 quid a month. Are you joking? For unlimited devices and 24/7 UK support.
That is good.
While others charge up for 300 quid. You're laughing and smiling.
I mean, it just sounds like what a deal.
I know. Well, we're about to sign you up. Yeah. I hope you bought a pen. No stress, no tech headaches, and use the code GOTOBLINK, BLINQ, to get your first month free. Or send in your horror stories where Ben awaits you every night, refreshing the emails and the DMs to see the greatest. You've got some good ones, but if you sent in an even better one...
That takes up more of my time than making this podcast.
Yeah, I know. But it's a great commitment. It's a great
a
commitment.
full-time job.
So send that in via DMs or email to competition@thegotopodcastcompany.com. Benny, I think it's time we sampled what you've created today.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Can you take us through what you've done?
I've made, so as I mentioned earlier, we've got this partnership with New Covent Garden Market.
Mm-hmm.
Rushton's, who are an unbelievable business. I didn't know all of this. They've become very there's zero waste coming out of Rushton's.
Well,
They get all this fresh fruit and veg. They use it for stuff. They turn it into other bits and pieces. They send it off to somewhere else to be used. It's an unbelievable business. Anyway, they've sent me the freshest looking, beautiful stuff. 2 boxes of rolls, bag of fresh peas.
oh,
And so I've made some gnocchi with your rolls and fresh peas.
Happy days.
sounds delicious.
Bless
A
you.
little bit of fried sage.
You've
I'm gonna
lovely.
put that
You've been
on the
busy.
plate.
Please.
I've been relatively busy, but you know.
Tim, you grew up in Reading, right? One of 6 kids. Your dad had a pizza shop. But before we get there, I want to know about these snackettes you used to eat. What form do they take?
That was more. That was mum.
Yeah, this is pre the pizza shop.
This is.
I want to know what you're eating as a little kid.
She was.
What is a snackette?
Well, snack it is mid-afternoon, like a little salty snack of some description.
Yeah.
It was more when I was, I think, a teenager. Now, my mum, bless her, her view was if rather than going to the park and getting drunk and smoking weed, I'd much rather you and your friends did it here because you're under my roof
Yeah, yeah.
and you're not going to get in trouble. So I think
So it was the munchies.
it was exactly that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she
Your
would,
mum was doing it mainly
she
for
would,
munchies.
She would come and bring, little cheese and ham toasties.
Oh.
Marmite, melted Marmite and cheese on toast.
Oh.
She's going to laugh that she's like, her snack.
This is unbelievable.
Just sometimes, snack. Sometimes just bring up some crisps to us,
Yeah.
But
What
shit
a
like
service.
that.
That's
I know. Well, she was like, it wasn't like she would like. She would be
Waiting
doing.
for you to-
She's got 6 kids, so she wasn't doing that. But I think it was like, yes. I think if I'm going to say do it here, I might as well. I know what's going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I might-
I'll service the requirements. We'll talk about the pizza shop then. Obviously, your dad was running it. What kind of pizza shop was it? Was it pizzeria, pizza shop?
Yeah, pizza. Well, he had he had a few, and so he had them. My mum's from Yorkshire,
Right.
and he's passed away sadly, but he's from Iran, but he came over to the UK in like late 70s via Naples. He'd worked in Naples as a pizza chef for about 3 years. So when he came to the UK, he went to university. The university didn't work out for whatever reason, and was like, look, pizza's not happening in the late 70s, especially in Leeds at that time. So he opened a little shop with my mum, and it worked. And so then he opened up Scarborough, Hull, Sheffield. I was born in Hull. And then they had them and then opened some in America as well. So they were big. They ended up being these big glitzy.
Yeah, pizza
Like-
mixes.
I mean, so 80s. I can't tell you. It was.
Padella.
Look at that. My God,
I've got this beautiful olive oil from King
that looks
in New
delicious.
York, which I wanted to crack into, but I don't have a fucking bottle opener.
Jamie? No.
You're not packing heat.
Well,
It's so sad. Anyway, you can have a look at the King.
This looks really good.
olive oil.
Thank you.
So they have a pizza empire in the UK and the US. That's
Well,
unbelievable.
Empire maybe a bit strong, but
Well, I'm sorry.
That's an empire.
but it was towards the sort of end of it when they were. That's delicious, man.
Is it all right?
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good.
It's good girolles, right?
Give me gnocchi, I think.
I'm just going to try and get this cork out.
Yeah, go on.
Black velvet walls, massive fish tanks in the middle, open kitchens.
Oh, awesome.
Lots of fun, big open. It's kind of ahead of its time, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Open kitchens. So growing up around that, I'd go and my parents weren't together, but I'd go and stay at the weekend. And I used to love just hanging out in the kitchen under the pizza section, and that's where it started. Like being around the hustle and bustle, Friday night service, the language, the noise, the smells. It was because my brother and sister would like to be out in the front of the house, and I always wanted to be in the kitchen.
You're in the kitchen. So you share something in common with Elliot Hastrudi, who I believe worked for you. Iranian fathers who worked in Italian.
He also went on to St John as well.
It's like he was just trying to.
Yeah. You need to grow a mustache.
And now he's in commit. And now he's
he's in Borough.
He's my
He's
neighbour.
in Borough. Yeah, so true.
You want to serve yourself
What a
up, or you're just going to pick from the plate?
I was going to.
please.
Sorry, yeah.
No pressure.
No, please get involved.
Yeah, Elliot's is a dude, and like that. I mean, his restaurant. Have you been to it?
Yeah.
It's mega.
He's killing it, yeah. Needs to put that Zidane shirt in the wash, but apart from that, That's.
We might have a wardrobe of 10 or 12.
I think he actually may.
They might be on rotation.
My favourite things are his caps and his suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean
trainers.
that is quite the look in a great way. I think.
Strong name.
Yeah, incredible.
Great man.
Well, Ben, this looks unbelievable.
I hope we're all right, Freddie.
I hope everyone at whoever supplied the goods.
Rushton.
Rushton.
They'll be delighted.
Well done, Rushton.
Let's go 2002. You're one of the sort of unemployed young people picked to go and, be a part of the first ever series of 15 with the genius Jamie Oliver. The course changed your life, but talk us through how Jamie Oliver and the course changed your life, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, what a treat to be able to get chosen and get on that course. It was fortuitous. It happened. I didn't know that I wanted to be a chef. I was working at Old Orleans on my, jalapeno poppers, and yeah, I saw him do an interview on local TV, and thought at that time he was Naked Chef still, and it was. I remember that he's a fucking dude.
Yeah.
Mum had got the cookbook and talked about it and was like, you write a letter if you're interested. And that's how long ago it was. It was like, write a letter, send a PO box, something or other. And so I was like, I'm going to do it. When I get home from work later, I'm going to do it. So I did. And then got called to come and, for an interview, and then got on it eventually. And yeah, it totally transformed everything, because it was the first time in my young life where, because I was a classic chef story of leaving school after GCSEs, dyslexic, didn't get, many GCSEs, and didn't really know what I was going to be doing. And so, but, I liked being at school. I loved playing sport. Was never going to be professional at playing sport.
Yeah.
Liked being in teams. So working in a kitchen to that level, very quickly, I was like, not only do I love being a part of this team and working as a team, but it was the first time in my life that actually I started excelling at something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, this is it. These are my people. And Jamie is just a force. He's a force for good. He's, he really believes in people. And I think back that he was in his mid-20s when he set that up.
Is that right?
Unbelievable.
Right. And it was off the back of the fact that his books had done well, the TV shows had gone well. And he threw a shit ton of money into making that happen. And you can imagine a mid-20, I don't know many people that would. I don't know anyone actually.
That's what they do with their money. Yeah.
And so it was when it comes from that was the intention to help other people get into the trade that he loves, knowing that the power of food can transform people's lives. If that's the essence of what's going on, it's no wonder that you feel that, because everyone else that's working there to help that happen, their purpose there is to help these 15 students get through this pretty hardcore, intense training to better, for them to better themselves and go on. And there was a real mix of, backgrounds.
Yeah.
There was, it was 16 to 24-year-olds, and real mix of someone like me. There was someone who had been in juvenile prisons, someone who was from, been in foster with some really dark backgrounds. There's people, everything. And so it was just this, it was, and it ended up, I think it went on for 15 years of affecting people's lives in a dramatic way.
Yeah.
And so I feel really privileged that I was involved with it. I think that it transformed my life in a very short space of time, and a real seminal moment for me, because I didn't know what I was doing. Other friends were going off to university or getting jobs, and then I found it. And I was and I remember going, I'm on this wave at the moment. I'm not going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And I got really serious really quickly in terms of going, I'm going to get as much from this as possible. And I love it. I love it. And so there was the training in the restaurants. You do 2 weeks on a section and move around. And then one day a week you go on a sourcing trip. And so whether that was to Billingsgate or Neal's Yard, or up to Cumbria to see Pete Gott and his Middle White Pigs, or go to Italy and go to New Season Olive Oil. And so a kid from Reading who was working in Old Orleans on the microwave section, overnight got exposed to this world of incredible food, a real buzz around that restaurant that was fully booked 6 months in advance, the glitz and glamour of London, and an incredible people, whether we were the people we were working with, or this extended group of people in hospitality, the farmers, the fishermen, the cheesemakers. And once that started to like join for me. I was like, okay, I'm in. I want to be part of this forever.
world.
This is it. Because it's way more than the restaurants and the people. That is really obviously the day-to-day stuff, and that's wicked. But once, you know, the relationships I've built up over 20 years now, you know, some of our suppliers, Rushton's, you know, he's retired now, but Rushton I met back from Jamie Oliver days.
Really?
You know,
I think he did the River Calf Rushton a bit as well.
Yeah.
Stuff there, yeah.
So, you know,
Amazing.
it taught me masses and then put me on a good footing and opened up loads of doors. So I think I would have ended up in food anyway, just because of sort of the, you know, I just can't believe I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But the way that it happened, the access that I got to things, you know, I started working at St. John on my days off when I was at 15 because our sous chef at the time, a wonderful chef called Derek DeMann, Canadian chef, was like, you got to go and try the thing called bone marrow. And at that time, St. John there was noise, but it was cult. And I mean cult London. It wasn't cult like global. And the bones were starting to make a little bit of noise, but of course before social media and stuff. So it certainly wasn't like talked about all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and try these bones. And one day walked over, and I remember walking in. It was a Thursday afternoon, and it was heaving after lunch in there, full of suits. People smoking cigars, like a thick plume in that bar when you walked in. Is when you were, you know, it was like, it felt like the good days. Like, you know, I kind of miss it in a way, being able to smoke indoors.
100%.
But walked in and really intimidated with my backpack on and a little anorak and a bit like, oh my God. And stood there in the doorway and almost walked out. And then a guy in a pinstripe suit walked up to me. He's like, good afternoon, sir. Can I help you? I was like, oh, yeah. I'm here to try some bones. He was like, follow me, and like took me to the bar, sat me on one of those the fucking massive stools,
Very high.
and he's like, have you been here before, sir? I said, no, I haven't. But he was like, well, and he brought out the crabs, the crab, what do you call it? The crab stick, you know, whatever,
Picker,
the picker, and set up, and he was like, and then brought out the wet salt, and then he brought it out, and he was like, let me talk you through it. This is how you do it, and you got to do it in that order, and then in you go. And I remember I ate it, and like at that moment, I just instantly fell in love with it. And I looked around the room, and I just thought, I need to be here at some point. And so sat there. They threw me out a rare bit as well. He gave me a glass of champagne. Oh. That guy was Tom Blythe.
I was going to say, was it Tom Blythe?
The GM at the time, a wonderful man. And after that, I said, look, can I come and work on my days off? I'll peel spuds. I'll do anything. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, sure. And so I used to go and work there on days off. And then after doing that for a period of time, I went off. When I graduated from 15, I did a scholarship in Sydney for a while.
Yeah. Organised by Jamie, or
organised through Jamie.
By,
Another incredible thing that Jamie did, was that, you know, graduated. Where do you want to go in the world? What do you want to be doing? What kind of food? At that time, I thought I wanted to be in like 3 Michelin star, like fusion food. So that's what I did. Learned pretty quickly that that's not what I wanted to do.
That was Luke Mangan. Can we touch on that quickly? Because we've had some chefs come on here and go, it's a terrifying kitchen, terrifying place to work.
I need to listen to those pods because I still have PSD from that time. Like it was, I'd never worked in a kitchen like it before, and I haven't since. And I really hope, you know, I don't think kitchens like that exist anymore.
No.
But it was really brutal. It wasn't a good culture. Like, you know, it was just all the cliches of why you shouldn't work in kitchens. And
all present.
It was all there. And I remember I was on the oyster. They put me on the starter section, basically, or the entry level, which was oysters and randomly this like there was some sides on fry, and then this quite intricate dish of stuffed quail with like prawn mousse inside.
Wow.
Anyways, the oyster section was fucking busy, and he would scream, not Luke, the chef at the time, you fucking scummy pom, get me those oysters. If you spike one, I'll fucking spike you. I remember they're standing there like shaking, like, and I
presumably like the Jamie environment had been very supportive, very kind of like
I was like in a cocoon.
And then that must have been an even greater shock.
Yeah, and if people didn't come up at the same time when he was calling, to come up on a table, within like a 25 second, and he would have it on a clock, he would pick up all the plates and throw them at the wall.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was brutal.
Jesus.
Yeah,
How long did you last /
3
bother
months.
to stay there? Yeah.
3 months there, then went to another place, and then actually I got a call from St John. I remember being in the phone box, and there we go. Yeah, there's a commie chef. There's a commie position coming up, and do you want to do you want to come and apply for it? I remember going to the chef, but I'm in Australia. He was like, I know you, dipshit. I know you're in Australia, but how about do you want to come and apply? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I went and worked there, and it was glorious.
So what's that St John kitchen like?
Amazing. The best I've ever worked in.
Really?
By a country mile. And at that time, it was, as I was saying, St John had launched, and it was really, kicking off at this point. It was the sort of the book had just been republished. Anthony Bourdain had done the foreword. The top 50 did a lunch there that was wicked.
Yeah.
It was
in its moment.
I mean, I don't know. It's had moments I think that moment lasted for a long time. But I was youngest by far. Me and Lee Tiernan. Lee's a few years older than me, but we were like the two sort of like chumps and like didn't know anything.
Nice that you're across the roundabout from each other now.
Yeah. Lee and I we go back that and him and Kate and the kid. Yeah, we're all good mates. But everyone else that was there, in their own right, probably could have been a sous or a head chef, but they were all there because they were like, we need to learn this, and this is the restaurant. This is one of the best restaurants in the world to be working at that time, and so they kind of took us under their wings as well. So there's no autonomy on the menu there, nor should there be. So they were like, oh, it's good. So one guy was madly focused on having incredible knives, so would be drilling me the whole time to be sharpening, would be super anal at that. Someone else amazing at butchery, and because I didn't know butchery, we'd be like, right, great, you're going to be my little protege. So I felt like I got a bigger return for sure, and it transformed everything. That really was a moment in my life where I learned more in that 18 months than I've learned any other time, and I didn't know anything about offal and game, and and it was just a glorious period. And I wish I'd stayed longer, actually. 18 months, I could have done longer than that. But it was also a time when that Fergus was just on the side. He was still in the kitchen a little bit. But his Parkinson's then was, it was out of control in terms of,
so
people remember, but then he had the surgery, and, but he still wanted to be in the kitchen, but he would get put on the garden. They call it the garden now, colds. So he would come in some mornings, and because I was on the garden, because I was a commie, I used to get some like little pearls of wisdom from him. So
like working alongside him.
Yeah. He'd come in and like just little pearls. I've told him over the years because I was like, he's dropped some things in for me that stick with me now.
Yeah.
He's like, did I say that? And I'm like, yeah.
We're going. Can you give us one?
What sort of?
A side salad. Like he would go to me, look, my job, apart from a few other things on the garden, side salad, the mighty side salad. Don't be like that. Just think it's there as a side. Treat it as that. People are coming for maybe a grouse and some pigeon and some rabbit, but they've ordered some new potatoes from there and this salad. You've got to wait until chef. He's called it, but do not toss it until you see the last plate of food go. And then when you do, you treat it gently. You just make sure that each leaf has got enough of the vinaigrette around it. The parsley is chopped just right, and there's the right amount going in. And then it goes onto the plate, and at the very last minute goes. And then you want to put all that love and energy into that plate of food. So when a customer eats that they eat that and they go, fuck, this is the best side salad I've ever had. Now, that simple lesson, it was like apply that to everything else you do.
Yeah.
I mean, in Fergus language, and it will serve you well. And it's true. That has stuck with me. And I've taught so many, when I train chefs and at different levels throughout my career, I tell a version of that to go, if you can do it with a side salad, because anyone can do that, you just got to really connect with that.
Yeah.
It's going to serve you well when you get into much more intricate food later on. And that's the base level. So that was one thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you?
He's a G. He's
Did your favourite dish ever change from that first experience with the bone marrow or not?
Yeah, probably did. Like, bones I still love, and every time I go there, you got to have it. But the menu changed all the time, right? So it was depending on the time of year, St. John's a brilliant example of like eat food that the weather and the season's telling you, because that's what trust your body, trust Mother Nature, and you'll connect. And so it really was any time of year. But I love the pot roast they do there, like any sort of the pork pot roast.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say, because England has such distinct seasons, right? Four real brutal seasons in different and beautiful ways. Other countries don't have that. Like some bits of Middle Europe don't really change as dramatically as we do. How big a part does that play in your food today? And like, how incredible is that for English restaurants to have that abundance of change? Yeah,
it's all. I've only known one way of doing it, because that's what Jamie taught me. That's what Fergus taught me. That's what Sam and Sam, that's what the CAF, So that's the only way I've ever known, and totally governs the menus. Of course, there's some staples that you go, okay, the beef shin stays on, cacio e pepe stays, and at Trullo, though, we get the reports coming through from Rushton. They send through a sexy report for their market reports.
Carry on. I've got a treat for you. He sent you a very special little calendar, so you can go through the year. He also, sorry, I don't want to stop your story, but it just triggered my mind. He sent one of the greatest water bottles I've ever seen.
There we are.
There you go. That's for you to take away.
They've gone into merch.
Yeah, he's got
Keep
merch.
hydrated.
Anyway, sorry, Tim. Carry on.
We also give you a blink cup at the end, so you're going to be naked carrying this all back.
You get those reports through, whether it's from our fishermen or from Swaledale or from Toro Rushton, whoever it is. And so we're always 1 month ahead and writing the menu at Trullo, and work with Ed, who's the head chef there. We just go, there's obviously stuff over the years now. We go look at previous menus. But then also go, the important thing with Trullo is that you've got to give autonomy to people. It's not like, for us anyway, that's how, it's important. Otherwise, Trullo is going, it's super strong, but it's super strong because of the people that are there all the time. And, I'm not. So I work with Ed on the menus there, part of mentorship to go, this is how, we do it. This is how I used to do it. And then also it's because it's really fun to still be doing that all the time. And he for me, Ed Grace at Trullo is one of the great young chefs of, English chefs of our,
really,
who's coming up.
People are going to be poaching him from you.
He's not going anywhere. But yeah, he's now, because he's similar to me. He didn't come from that background, so he's really grasping that now.
Yeah.
And, we're lucky. We've got the UK's, and UK's full of beautiful produce at any given time of the year. Gets a bit bleak in January, but so does everything.
February.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
The bleakness is beautiful. Though.
Learn to love turnips.
Learn to love fucking turnips. But we're going into the best patch now, I think.
Yeah.
End of summer, beginning of autumn is just
that like shoulder where like you get the end of the summery bits and the beginning of the autumn.
we got, glorious 12th yesterday, albeit Saturday this year. The game another year of grouse where it's just, it's not a good year.
Is that because it's too hot?
Yeah. It's there's also a tick that there's been like, it seems to be like hanging around for a while, but climate change, it's sad truth. But everything else is about to start, and we get into the mushrooms, leisure rolls, and then I love that end of summer going into early autumn. It's just like a bounty of stuff.
Yeah.
You then decided post St. John to chance your arm as a sort of pig farmer / charcutier, a la Coombs Head Farm, but without the success. What happened there?
Because of St. John, I've just fell in love with everything pig, and got mad into curing and butchery, and just everything nose to tail. And that's why I should have stayed for longer. So I wish I had stayed a little bit longer, but I was young and wanted to try and do my own thing. And so it was, the good bit was I wrote a little rinky-dinky business plan. I borrowed some money off my uncle. He subsequently knew it wasn't enough money, but he was like, "I'm not going to take the wind out of your sails. Go for it." And so it just, didn't even get going. I think I borrowed like $8,000. And so I got
buy some pigs.
There was a friend's dad's land in the Cotswolds where he had some little, had some area to to rear some pigs, and he was going to give me the land. I wouldn't have to pay any rent. Help me build a little sort of like butchery stroke cafe thing.
Yeah.
And then the idea being that I would be as self-sufficient as possible and just have this small little holding of pigs, do my butchery, my curing, and sell my bacon sausages. I was really into like doing prosciuttos and coppers and things like that. And but I didn't get anywhere close to that because it turned out not having any experience of farming or breeding animals really is like maybe the first point of call if you're going to try and do that. So yeah, it didn't get going. But that
did you even get a pig?
No. I got into. I didn't get anywhere with it because I realised that the £8,000 wasn't even going to pay for like rent, let alone I was 22 years old. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But that led me into working in Oxford because I was in Cotswolds, and that's that was the beginning of then the next phase. But it was a good lesson. It was a good lesson to like write, albeit on like A5 piece of paper, business plan, borrow some money, have the responsibility of paying it back. Going, okay, that didn't work, but then it transitioned. It's
a good life lesson.
Yeah. I wasn't like, oh, the fuck.
So it was off to the QI Club.
Yes.
A private members club in Oxford for the likes of John Lloyd, Stephen Fry, Dawn French, Lenny Henry.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was good times.
Yeah?
That was really good times. I needed to earn some money because I needed to pay some rent and so another ex-sous chef, the other one at 15, was running this place, QI Club on Tell Street, over different floors, and he was like, come and work. And so he quite quickly promoted me to sous chef because he didn't have any chefs, and that then worked out quite nicely for me, going, okay, well, that's a decent, and then I started really enjoying being in Oxford. I was 22 years old, so I was a bit like, okay, that was my little farming dream has come to an end for now. I'm going to put that on the back burner. This is fun, working in a really fun, buzzy place. And there was the ground floor, they randomly had a bookshop in the front in the best bit of the restaurant, but I mean, classic Oxford. But then they had cafe, club rooms, private dining room, and within that they let me sort of put on these private dining events as well. The Oxford like food union was strong. I think that's what it was called. There's some really interesting people involved who were wanting to always put on nice events, and that was really great. But then Eamon, who was the chef, was like, I'm leaving. I was like, fuck, well, what are they going to do? And they looked at me and they went,
here we go.
You're our best hope here. And I was like, you're mad.
So you're how old at this point?
23.
Wow.
I was like, that's really not a good idea. I don't know what I'm doing. They said, we know, but you can cook and you're passionate about it, so we can help you with the rest. And so I was like, well, okay, fine. And so at that point, became head chef, and it was a real sort of like baptism of fire, and you learn loads, and it was you could feel it straight away, the pressure. It changed. We just couldn't staff it. It was Oxford at that time. I don't know what it's like now, but it was like impossible to find people that weren't like hammered when they came in, or like just like really off the So I called Jordan, who was a mate of mine, who was wanting to get into food more, and he's always said, I'd love to come and work in the kitchen. So I called him one day. I said, I don't suppose you want to come and help and do some shifts? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? So he then came up, and we started doing some shifts, and then started doing some more. And then I promoted him to sous chef in about 2 weeks. But in that moment, like those sort of, I don't know how many months it was, but we started to form this idea of Padella and Trullo. And so,
is that right? Even like as far back as that?
Yeah, that's when it started.
Wow.
Yeah. We've sort of been with each other for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so Jordan Frieda, I've been running the restaurants with, since the beginning, because Connor we now run the restaurants with as well at Trullo.
Yeah.
But
he's a good chef.
Connor's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jordan and I, that's the sort of the nucleus of it. Lots of sort of, quiet lunch shifts, like going through like, different cookbooks, and then coming up with this idea, and then eventually going, let's do it. And so we moved back to London, and that was the beginning of the next phase. But I loved working at QI, and John Lloyd, Sarah Lloyd, his wife, John Mitchardson, these are really, they're great people.
Yeah.
And we had a really good time. And for a moment, QI was, it's the same as the TV show.
Yeah.
So
It was literally, right, okay.
Yeah. So John Lloyd, who is the creator of QI,
yeah,
the TV show, wanted to have somewhere that wasn't the Groucho, and because a lot of them lived in Cotswolds, Oxfordshire, and going, we don't want to go into London all the time. Let's create one here.
Does it still exist?
No.
No.
It was set up by a bunch of comedians, literally, and going, we're going to do this for fun.
Yeah.
I don't think they were, so no, it didn't work.
So was Moro pre or post that?
Post. So we came back, tried to set up Padella. It wasn't called Padella, and it was a slightly different format. But the idea of let's create, why is there not affordable, easy, accessible, good pasta in the UK? It's like doesn't need to be that way. You don't need to go to the Caf and Locatelli's for good pasta. We weren't ready. I don't think we were too young. London wasn't ready. London at that time was the only sort of single format restaurants that were of note. Was like Gourmet Burger Kitchen had happened, and that was so that we were in that phase of gourmet burgers were happening. Pizzas were just about kicking off, I think.
So were you
Frank
looking
and
for
Mango
money?
might have started in Brixton.
Yeah.
I think that's
what
what was
going, but yeah.
So politely people were like, nah, no, and also the format was wrong. It was more you line up, and it was more fast foody. So anyway, we're like, okay, fine, let's park that. We then went. The other thing we want to do is a trattoria, local thing.
Yeah.
We were looking at quite a lot of sites, and then it was 2007, and the crash happened, and so we had borrowed a little bit of money by that point, and then we were about to sign on a lease in Brick Lane, where Ty Rosa's is.
Yeah.
And we got the heebie-jeebies last minute, and because the crash, there was noise from people that knew what they're talking about, not us going, you might want to think twice about this. So we held, and then and because of that, I was already started working a little bit at Moro, but then ended up the 2008 crash happened, and then there was a hangover from that for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was working at Moro. Jordan had been working at CAF by that point, and so, but it was. I'm so fucking pleased that happened, because the stuff that I learnt at Moro and the stuff that Jordan learnt at the CAF absolutely, contributed into what Trullo became. Yeah. And Trullo would not be what it is today without that. I hadn't done any proper fire cooking before, and Moro and Sam really taught that. They were doing it before it was cool. And they're fucking brilliant at it. Just people don't talk about Moro as much anymore as they used to. But Moro is like an institution, and I tell my young chefs all the time, they don't even know where Oxford Market is, let alone
Really?
Yeah, and they go Moro, and I'm just like, fucking, here's the book, here's the original one, and you've got to go. I will pay for it. Go.
It's unbelievable.
So for those listening who haven't been, what should they go in and sample or?
Well, they change their menu regularly,
Right,
but
okay.
Samuel and Samantha, both Clarks, but then they got married, so
Still Clark.
Clark. Both worked at River Cafe. That's where they met, and so that's their sort of their pedigree. And then they opened Moro, I think almost 30 years ago, which is a North African Moorish Spanish restaurant that might sound, it's got the ability to be not good, but it was before Telengi as well, so it was like it's incredible. You can get something like a ham on croqueta. But then you can also get, a pilaf in there. But they are brilliant at manipulating charcoal grills with straight up like cooking on a charcoal grill, but smouldering vegetables in there, smoking stuff above it, understanding how to use a wood-fired oven properly throughout the 24-hour cycle. Wow. It's just a wonderful restaurant, like making their own sourdough every day, everything. It was. Lots of us do everything from scratch, but they were doing it in a way that was, unique and different, and bringing flavors to London that really weren't happening, especially in sort of nicer restaurants. And they're brilliant. They've got multiple cookbooks out. So I highly recommend everyone to go there. It's still there, and they're still there on the pass, on the pans.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I imagine you working your Argentinian barbecue like that, just knowing the hot spots.
Very Moro.
Yeah. Just knowing where
it is. I even wear Sam wears a very specific hat when he's not at work. Yeah, I don that over the Argentinian barbecue.
Nice people, good times. It was too much. There was a lot of partying then. It was the only people. It was a period. I think if you're into partying, not everyone is, but if you are, that was definitely the patch of chefdom where it was like, there was a group of us.
Yeah, quite hard.
It was hard. It
Well-
was to the point where I think Sam and Sam were like, enough.
This needs to stop.
But I think they called me and went, you either go and work somewhere else, or you're going to see that this is all stopping.
Really?
Yeah. And so some people left.
Who was there anyone in there with you? Who were your comrades in the partying?
Everyone.
Just the whole restaurant
Everyone.
apart from them, or them as well?
No, not them, but everyone.
They were running their business.
Everyone. Yeah, they put an end to it.
Wow.
But it was good times.
Well, you've gone on to set up two of the greatest restaurants in London, so congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
I mean, we're huge fans. We do always ask about sort of rude customers, which we are going to come to in a second, but there was one review that said something tasted like somebody had farted in their mouth. What was that about?
What?
Someone did say that once. You've done some good research. I mean, I forgot about that. But yeah, someone left a review. I don't know if they left the review or they told a waiter, but they said that whatever they'd eaten tasted like someone had farted in it.
What would that have been?
I don't know.
Was that Trullo or Padella? I can't remember.
I think it was Trullo.
Right.
But yeah, that definitely made us giggle. And also just a tiny bit harsh. But,
Yeah, very harsh.
But, each their own.
A review like that probably drives more business than it puts off.
Yeah.
You go, what
I
is
said-
this
yeah,
thing
yeah,
they're
yeah,
serving?
yeah,
It's
Yeah, this
extraordinary.
is intriguing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go rudest customer first then.
Well,
The recent past, I mean,
it's quite... Look, the majority of the time, most people are good, but there's often
Yeah, yeah.
shitty fucking... there's just some odd people out there.
oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't work front of house so much, so I don't, but I definitely, there was a period where at Trullo, I had to ban a regular because he was just not a nice guy. And I'm from the school, and, Jordan and Connor are as well, that, we're here as a service provider. We want you to have a great time. We don't, and as long as you're, not an absolute a-hole,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can kind of,
Work
we'll,
around it.
we'll, we're a bit old school like that. Sometimes people aren't polite to you, but you take it.
Yeah.
Depending on, there's a line. Anyway, he kept crossing the line, and so we had suspended him once. This has never happened with any other customer, by the way. And that enough was awkward. It was and then after about a year, he was like, can I come back now? We're like, well, as long as you're going to, behave. And then he did. He came back, and then sure enough, he didn't. So in hindsight, we shouldn't have let him come back. But then I just had to call him and be like, look, dude, this is
It's a lifetime ban.
it's just you're just not welcome anymore. He was just not nice.
Yeah.
Handsy with waitresses,
Christ.
not but just in a way that was it was just all a bit. It was a bit creepy.
Yeah.
And they weren't freaking out, but it was just a point where we're like, hold on,
Yeah, enough.
gotta stop
he was a bit older, and, just from that generation, and just
Have you seen people wear weird disguises over the last couple of years come in?
What, this lad?
Yeah. Is he coming in like mascot outfits? I don't know.
he went to another restaurant actually, and I think a similar thing happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got form.
Wow.
Yeah.
Says a lot about Trullo that even after a suspension, he was desperate to get back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think
yeah.
at that point, you go like,
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. So he was a douche.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, should we go to your go-to locations?
Please.
What
Sure.
about let's start with your weeknight restaurant. Where are you eating for nothing?
Well, I now live in Somerset.
Oh,
So I live near the Three Horseshoes. So I would say in Backham.
that's almost cheating, I think.
Is
As in, it's not, but that's just what a great thing
Henderson's
to have as your
Yeah.
local.
Yeah.
Well, and Nye used to work at Moro.
Yeah.
Actually helped us out at Trullo at the beginning as well. So
You're very lucky to have that on your
yeah, I am
list.
lucky.
Yeah.
I am lucky.
So
So
not OSIP. That's not the midweeker.
sadly not. Sadly not. But
Have you been to V2 or not?
what's V2?
Version 2?
Oh, 2.0.
2.0?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's he's a magician.
He is.
He literally is, and it's beautiful. And he's got his new rooms, and in Old Pharmacy's great. Is the place in Bruton
Yeah,
he's
High
got?
Street, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, lucky that they're there. I mean, I'm not going to OSIP all the time, but Three Horseshoes, yeah, regularly. So that's, I'd say, is my go-to.
What a treat. What about if you big blowout celebratory dinner? Where would you be heading?
It's got to be the calf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. On its day, especially in summertime. If you'd asked me in the winter, I probably would have said St John. But I think this time of year, and it's a scorcher day today.
Yeah.
Sitting out on that, outside there on a late afternoon, it's good times. And I've had some of the great experiences in my life in that, in that restaurant.
In a dream menu scenario, what would you be hoping to order?
Well, I had my dream one there. I remember my 30th, I think it was. It was with Jordan and a couple other people. I think it was my 30th. But anyway, Joseph was on the pass. had menus down, and we were all like about to order, and then he came out and he went, guys, please order from the menu, but before you do, I'm just wondering, do you want me just to do the menu? And we were like, fuck yeah.
Yes, please.
And it was like, the bit I really remember is this like kick-ass sea bass that we were on an outside table, and like they came and put a separate table next to us, and it came down, and there was all the sides that were going with all the garnishes that were going with the other proteins, and it was like one of those meals where you felt like you're in an Italian home.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you were having your protein and your garnish. It was like, and also and there was people around going, who the fuck are these guys? So yeah, that was the most memorable meal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about go-to pub? Do you head down the pub ever?
Yeah. Okay. I can't say three horseshoes again.
Shot your load.
I reckon Southampton Arms.
Oh, nice.
Southampton Arms in Gosport.
Near Hampstead Heath.
Yeah, that's I'm amazed it still isn't like as well known as it should be. So they're like independent, always a good rotation of beer and cider, and then on the weekend they have a pork bap with apple sauce. That runs out when it runs out. They have a piano in the corner, which someone always gets going on. They have always good tunes on the record player. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Do you go see Owen Barrett with his sausages down in Somerset? Or not?
I do. Yeah. He's at the Rye Bakery a lot. Yeah. It's good vibes down there. I go and get sausages from all the time.
His silly sausages.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I see him all the time.
What about a little hidden gem?
I
mean, you've actually delivered a few already, but
in London, I don't know.
Oh, anywhere.
Could be anywhere.
No, let me think.
I'm willing to travel.
Holm, is that a hidden gem? That's in Somerset. Have you been to Holm?
No.
Yeah.
With an L.
Holm.
Is that Nicholas Balfe? No.
Don't know if that's his name. But that's,
he might have actually sold out.
That's great. I mean, the Rye Bakery does people know about that? Have you heard about that? That I'd say that I'm going to big them out because that is a hidden gem and somewhere I go all the time. And the best pizza in Frome. I would say it's the best pizza anywhere in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just the Italian geezer who came over from Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just the way the proving that the flour that they got a mill at the back of the bakery.
Helpful.
They then that they're getting the right flour, they're milling it there, they're doing a 48-hour proof, and like he is doing it in wood oven, and on its day, I don't know anywhere that's a better pizza.
Wow.
So what's the ideal itinerary? Lunch at Silly Sausages, beers all afternoon, and then a pizza.
I mean, that's a good day out.
Yeah.
That is a good.
Owen talks about a guy who does doubles. Maybe his next little sort of Jamaican.
Oh yes, yeah, they're good. They're fucking spicy, but they are really good. And he's like one of the most lovely menu meat. I forget his name, but yeah, it's good. Like that, it's in a car park.
Yeah.
What's not to love? Come on then, Freddie.
What about long weekend getaway? Where are we going for a foodie weekend?
Foodie weekend. Man, there is a lot. It depends on the time of year. So we're going now. It's hot.
Yeah.
Amalfi Coast, I think. And stay in Nerano. Stay at La Scoglio, which is this. It's quite a simple hotel, but they've got an absolutely amazing restaurant that goes out on a jetty out into the sea. Incredible, like crudo, sea urchin pastas, like a big display of fish coming in on boats in the evening. Kind of sexy there as well, like especially at night time, and on a sort of shingly beach full of Neapolitans at the weekend, and everyone's a bit doughy and just smoking red mulberries and there's fucking Camparis everywhere. Beautiful. And long lunches, and then either side you can you do need a boat, like you can get taxi boats, it's all easy done, but that Adolfo, which is like sort of about 10 minutes away, you can only get to it by sea, but that's fucking epic. You rock up and it's like it's a bit chintzy, like they serve you like wine with white peaches in, which in any other setting is just like not good because it's shit wine, and but they're in big like jugs with Amalfi lemons on them. You're just like, yes please, and they just serve you out like vongole and grilled fish. And you just have solid days. And you're sat in chairs that are in shingles, and throughout the day, throughout lunch, people are always toppling over all over the place. It's just domino effect happening. And then other way, you go to Capri, and that's like 20-minute away. But there's a handful of really good beach restaurants there. Amalfi Coast gets a bad rep because a lot of it is a tourist trap.
Yeah.
Positano and overpriced. But if you know the little places to go, then there is 5 or 6 gems that are, So that's a good day. But
What an itinerary.
That's unbelievable.
That's it.
I hate the fact that I'm sat in a fucking basement studio right now, Freddie.
Good for the 32-degree heat though today.
It is.
Down here, yeah.
I'd
I'd
The
rather
aircon
be,
working after a year and a half as well.
I'd rather be on the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah, true.
Right, come on then. Your go-to 3-course meal. The greatest 3 courses you've ever eaten.
I was thinking about that this morning, all right? So am I allowed a couple of snacks before?
Oh yeah.
And I don't have to stick in one country.
No, I know that the menu writer in you wants to.
I do, and I was fighting myself.
You
I was
go wherever you want.
Wing it about.
But no, I'm not getting it's I've thought with myself quite a lot this morning about this, but I got to start with some gildas, and a really cold frosty beer, just sort of wet the whistle.
Yeah,
and maybe 3 gildas. I think that's about right. Then I'm gonna go some gambero rosso, the raw prawns.
Yeah, beautiful.
And have a big platter of that, and then just after that, someone to bring a big platter of Scottish langoustines on the grill, some samarillo on top, happy days. Then we're going to go into a pasta, and we're going to have sea-urchin pasta with spaghetti. And not a massive portion though, because just enough.
Yeah.
Definitely you'll be left wanting, but you'll be like, okay, let's move on.
There's more
and
coming.
then we're just going to take a little time, maybe 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go into a rusta mista. So we're going to have mixed grills of rabbit, I think some chops, definitely some Tuscan sausages, and then a load of good sides of Tuscan potatoes, a spiky salad of some description with flickered with anchovies, and then for pudding we're having my mum's lemon crunch pie.
Hold on a minute. What's a lemon crunch pie?
So good. So ginger nuts biscuits.
Yeah.
It's similar to a cheesecake. Ginger nut biscuits, butter. Set that in the fridge. It's like melted butter.
Yeah.
And then lemon juice, lemon zest, load of condensed milk, cream, and then bring that together. A couple of eggs in there and so you sort of make a semi-custard, and then you let that cool. You pour it on, and then let that set, and then grate a load of lemon zest on top.
Ugh.
You want to go around to Paula's for Sunday lunch?
Yeah.
God bless you, Mama.
Sounds
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one.
What a meal.
Yeah, that is a meal, isn't it? It was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun
Probably
thinking.
the best
It
we've
was
ever
fun
had,
thinking about that this morning.
Is there anyone in particular you'd want on the pans to create that meal for you?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, Connor can for sure be on pasta.
Yeah.
Ed Grace to be on grill. Jordan can get in there. No, Jordan needs to. Yeah, can they sit and eat with us as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's hard, isn't it? All of a sudden, I want them with me. Joe Trevelli, I think at the River Cafe is the best chef that I know.
Yeah.
So he needs to be in there
I think
somewhere.
that's
We get Ferguson salad.
Fergus is on the fucking spiky salad, and then he's sitting down.
very nice, beautiful salad.
Yeah.
Margaret Henderson needs to be in there cooking.
Yeah.
Or just having a cig and a drink with you.
Yeah, well, both.
Both.
I mean, she's got the touch, that woman. She taught me, I didn't say about her, she taught me a lot. I used to work with her at Rochelle,
Did you?
doing lots of events.
So did you
Yeah.
guys work at Rochelle together?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
I think Trullo was already open when I was there.
Yeah. Anna, you worked with Anna, didn't you?
Yeah.
Lecoq or not?
Anna Morris.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also Anna Tobias.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Also Anna Tobias,
Yeah.
a good cook. Anna Morris was good. So many good. There's lots of good
Good
chefs that
cooks.
have been
It's a
around.
good period for London chefs.
still is.
I mean, it's still, of course, it is. I just
Yeah.
not
You're just
working
not in the
anymore.
game
Yeah.
You are looking for a job though, so if you do want a hard day, try to get Heston to sign him up last week for his new
Heston was
French
having
bistro.
none of it.
Has he been in the CV? Been in the DM?
No, I've had a
Been on
DM
LinkedIn?
saying, "Do not fucking email your CV." You wet.
Well, we should say, Tim, thank you so much for coming in, mate. Your restaurant's
Thanks for having
incredible. And we're going to link your book, your incredible new book, which comes out on the 11th
Yeah. September.
of September.
Get
In
your
the
pre-orders
show notes.
in.
You can pre-order.
Not that you need it
can
to.
buy it
Get
now.
your pre-order.
Get your pre-order.
No,
Beautiful.
Come on.
Pre-order.
And even if
Yeah.
you don't like pasta, you can just stroke it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but the
straight
rest of
across.
these are in there incredible, and you'll find something you'll absolutely love.
Thanks, boys.
That's sadly we've got
Please
time
watch it.
for. Please make sure you subscribe on YouTube and leave us a comment on Spotify or Apple Pods or wherever you listen to your podcasts. We should say, what song do you want us to play you out with, sir?
We're going to go for I wanted Oasis, but everyone's doing Oasis at the moment, and it's like, you know. So
topical.
I'm gonna go Seabird, Alessi Brothers.
Oh, that's a lovely.
You happy with
shout.
that?
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Here it is. Thank you so much, mate.